I have a little bit of this, I have a little bit of Italian, but nobody want to say that they're black. Have you ever thought about that? We find everything to be a part of except blackness. And one thing that we need to know, when you start to do research, and the first thing you must do, even before I get into that, we must learn to free our mind, free ourselves. I'll tell you the greatest thing that has ever happened to me as an individual. I remember the day when I look in the mirror, okay? And I look at myself very carefully. And I said to myself, if this is who my Creator has created, then that means I must be satisfied with me, because He must be satisfied with who He created. So who is anyone else to tell me how should I look? Or what color should I be? You see, and from that day forward, every time I look in the mirror, I accept who I see. And I love who I see. Doesn't matter what you think. Because you must do the same for yourself. In order to know who you are, you must love what you see when you look in that mirror. That's vital for us as a people, because that has been taken away from you. Black is not a color. It's a frequency. It's the God frequency. That's what it is. You must know that. This is another thing that we are running from. Black people, when you look at your hair, you hate it. You know why they make you do all the things they do with your hair? Because your hair curls. Think about anything that conducts electricity, it curls. If it does not curl, it cannot conduct electricity. You must know that. That is the God within you. That's how you connect to your Creator. Your hair says it all. And that's why if you think about this, very important. Every person who claims to be of another race hates a black person. They will not reach down to help you even when you help them to get there. You know why? Because they know who you are, but you don't. And they know that they can never be you. That's what they hate about you. They can never be you, because you were the first person that was put on this planet. Everything come after you and through you. It's very important that we know that. Because the fact is, everywhere you go, you are hated by everyone. Even the Bible tell you that the true people are hated by every nation. They put that in their Bible because it's true. So when you see a hair, you must know that that is what the Creator puts in you, and no one else have that. Nobody else on this planet have that hair that you have. And that's why they call you kinky hair. They call you because they know who you are. They know that you are the true God and goddesses of this planet. Everyone here fall down. It cannot conduct the electricity that your hair conduct. So black is not a color. It's a vibration. No one else have it. But you look at these people who hate you, and every chance they get, they go in the sun to look like you. But it can't change. So we have to realize the importance of knowledge. People say knowledge is power. Yes, in a way, when you know how to use it. Don't let anyone ever tell you as an individual, don't research. Because when they say that, they have something to hide. If you're in a religion, and it's saying to you, I will do it for you, no. It's not good for you. You need to find for yourself with your own two eyes. Trace your history. Take a trip to the motherland. Because you need to know. When you come into yourself, it'll be the best day of your life. The day I reject religion, that was one of the other best days of my life. Because I was truly free. I was free in the sense where I didn't have this burden hanging over me about this original sin and all these different things that we think about that controls us. It's a control mechanism. That's all it is. That you'll never know who you are. Because they have this thing. And I ask the question a lot of times to religious people. Black people especially. Why is it that there is no angel in heaven that they give you look like you? Why is it you never see a black angel? You never see half of God black and half of Him white. They always look like them. Jesus looked like them. But we don't ask those questions. We just go to church, we take this image and we put it in our house and we're happy. Every time we bow down to Jesus, we're happy. You see, but we don't ask. The problem with us as people, we don't ask questions. It's very, very important, my brothers and sisters. Question. If you think a baby, when the baby is just born, and soon as they can speak, what they start doing? Asking questions. And you know what we do very quickly? We shut them up very quickly. We should never do that to our children, because that's what they've done to us. We should be quiet. You start talking, and when they start giving things to the slaves to read, what they give you the first thing? The Bible. Why? Because they wanna program you. That's what we need to know. So never be afraid to ask the question that needed to be asked, because you're gonna learn a whole lot about who you are as a person. So it's very important, my brothers and sisters, that we do that. You see, because knowledge is the key, and wisdom gonna come in. Listen to yourself. Listen to that inner person that is talking to you. When you do, you will see a big difference. People tell you, don't talk to yourself. It's a lie. Don't believe that. They say it's the first sign of madness. No, but it's the first sign of sanity. I will tell you a funny thing. Here's a guy driving his car. 4 of the lug fall off. Serious story. Now he's right next to what they call a crazy institution. You know, where they have those people. Bellevue. Okay? That serious thing that happened in Jamaica. Okay. So here's this guy right next to Bellevue. Here's a guy who they call crazy sitting underneath a tree. So this guy's saying, what am I going to do? You know, all the lugs fall off. 4 of the lugs fall off my tire. So how am I going to get going? So the guy who they call mad or crazy walked up to the fence and said to him, listen, why don't you take off one off each of the other tire and put them on and that tire and go about your business? So who's crazy and who's not? You see what I'm saying? Sometimes the people that they have in an institution, they put them there because they come to consciousness. They start to see. You see them walking, talking to themselves? No, they are realizing a lot of things. But because we have been taught to be that way and think that way, that's why we find ourselves in the position that we are. I talk to myself. I don't think I'm crazy. I know I'm not crazy, a matter of fact. You see, but you need to do that, because the God is within you. Don't let nobody tell you God is in the sky or anywhere else. The God is within you. We have an original creator, but the God is within you. And if you think about it, black people are the most creative people on this planet. That's a fact. Everything that was created here was stolen. You must know that. And the sooner we know that, the faster we will come to the realization of who we are. Thank you, my brothers and sisters.
Thank you so much, Mr. Keston, for blessing us with those words of wisdom. And one thing that I took from that in particular is when you said our race or skin color or pigmentation or melanin is a frequency. And that's, I feel like, you know, a lot of things are...
And the fact is, like I said, I'm never going to stop speaking about black empowerment. And I'm not going to speak about anything, because none of those, anything else is irrelevant. Anything else is irrelevant. You see what I'm saying is, that's what we need to focus on. We need to focus in on helping our people come out of darkness. Okay? And I'm not talking about black darkness. I'm talking about mental darkness. You see what I'm saying? So people get it twisted to think that, you know, as no, mental darkness. That's what we are in. We are in an enslavement. We are in a thing that is destroying us as a people, man. So we have to get out of that. You see what I'm saying is, sometimes when you hear, you know, brothers say certain things, and sometimes you're thinking that this brother is not, he is fast asleep. Fast asleep, because there's a person that is defending the people that enslaved your foreparents, your ancestors, and you are defending them. You imagine how your bloody ancestor would feel if they know. That's the problem. We just need to wake up, man.
You see, and come into ourselves, because if we don't come into ourselves and realize what's going on, nothing is going to change. Things aren't going to change themselves. You see what I'm saying is, you know, everybody, you know, and especially for us as black people, we're waiting on Jesus to change things for us. You see what I'm saying is, every day we get up, and that's the thing, they go to church, they're waiting on Jesus. Doesn't matter if the system is destroying all of us as a people. Okay, we're still waiting on church to fix it. We're waiting on Jesus to fix the problem. You know what? That is where the problem lies right there. That is a huge part of the problem for us as a people, man. We're waiting on Jesus to solve all our problem, but this Jesus that we're waiting on to solve our problem, he's never coming to help you. You see what I'm saying? No. The same people, you know, the thing is, look, man, the people, if you know, sometime for us, it is laziness why we don't know more. I'm going to be real. It is laziness why we don't know more, because the history is there. And if you really want to know, all you have to do is look, instead of reacting when somebody says something that you're ignorant of. You see what I'm saying is, I'm saying something, but because you're ignorant and you don't want to look, you don't want to turn the pages over and look, you get reactionary. Okay, you get upset with me because I'm speaking truth. You see, it's burning you up. So the reality is, and that's one thing I know, as Bob said, the truth is an offense, but it's not a sin in what they call sin. So I speak what I know. I don't speak what I don't know. That's what I'm saying. But we are a people who believe, and we believe what everybody else tells us. We have faith in whatever people tell us. But if you ask yourself the question, where has faith lead you so far? Where has faith lead you? Faith has led you to so many disappointment. Believe have led you to all these disappointment. Why do you think that so much people are getting fed up with church and all these different institutions? Because it had led them to nothing but disappointment. It has brought no fruitful bearing to, you know, if you sit down and you tell a person, here's your Bible, what you given me in the Bible. This is what you given me with Bible. The Bible, okay, which is a book where we are holding on to, it never says anything in there is factual. It never say that. It never says that anything in the Bible is historical. It never say that. The book never say that. You see what I'm saying? It says it's a story. Everything in the Bible tells you what it is. It said this is a story. The story of Jesus Christ, the story of Abraham, the story of this, the story of that. He never tell you that it's the actual fact. The story of creation. He never tell you that this is, okay, this is the factual thing of creation. He said this is a story of creation. He never said the historical fact of creation. He said the story of creation.
Whose story?
There you go. Nobody asks those questions. We don't ask those questions. Because, again, if you look at the history of our people, from the moment we were invaded and was being enslaved, this Jesus was being beaten into us. And if you go to Africa, if you don't believe me or you think I'm a liar, go to Africa, go to Ghana, and you will see the slave castles, and you will see the church right there. The church was right there. Okay? Even the priest was raping the women. The same people who were bringing you Jesus was raping you. What more do you want to know? But the fact is, you choose not to know. And knowing is not something that, you know, you can't know. No, you choose. There's things, so many things we choose not to know. That's what it is. We choose not to know because we don't want to find out. Because we feel if we find out, well, what are we going to do? So we live behind the shadow, so to speak. Because we don't want to accept truth. You see what I'm saying is? It's just like a woman that's been raped and she denied all her life that she was raped. How did you get the baby? You didn't have a boyfriend. How did you get the baby? But she live in denial. Then she, oh, maybe it's God make me have this baby. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't want to accept truth. You don't want to accept the fact. That's why so much people stick to this bullshit we call the Bible. The stories and the allegories and all these things. You stick to them because you believe that they are true. But nobody can prove the existence of Abraham. Nobody can prove the existence of David. Nobody can prove the existence. It cannot be proven.
But how come they have European names in that part of the world at that time?
But that's what I'm saying to you. We don't question those things. Okay? Just like we don't question these people called the so-called Jews, but none of them have these so-called biblical names that they're claiming to be of. Which Jews in the Bible named Greenstein, Weinstein, Disstein? Have you ever seen that name in the Bible? You never seen those names in the Bible. So we don't examine things and question things. We just go with the flow because society tells us. Who tells us that? This is the society that we live under. Okay? That give us these things. This is the religion. Because the same society that we live under is the same society create religion. They create Christianity. And they tell you that they come from Europe running away from persecution. It's a lie. This was all set and staged and planned. But we believe all those things. Oh, America is a good Christian country. When? Where? What has they ever been good about? You know, like here some people, American people will wipe this. Oh, you know, this is not the America I know. This is, oh, America was a good country. Where? For you, it's a good country. It's never been one for black people. You see what I'm saying? So you can talk about how good America is, and this is not the America you grew up in. No, you grew up in the America that you were shielded, so to speak. Okay? But now, all of the hypocrisy and the lies are being exposed. And because people like Trump, okay, because the universe turned and let him open his big mouth and tell people exactly who he is and what is going on, and now you're seeing it for yourself in your own two eyes. The same thing you call social media is open up the way to show you. And now you hear all these, oh, I'm sorry I voted for Trump, oh, I take it back or whatever. No, you don't. You're not sorry. You're only sorry because you are being exposed. This is what I'm saying is, and Trump is talking about who you truly are. Because that's who he is. You see what I'm saying? That's the reality. You can't hide from it because it's being exposed. Now is the time of exposure. So change it if you think you can, because you can't.
Too late.
This is what is going to destroy the people who are trying to destroy black people. Their own hands is going to destroy them. Who is doing all the mass murdering in America? It's not black people. You see what I'm saying is? It's not. So you're being exposed for who you truly are. You can't hide no more. That's what you're afraid of. You're not afraid of what really is. No, you're afraid because you're being put out in the wide open. That's the bottom line. You see, everybody's seeing who America is all about and what America is all about. It cannot be hide no more because you have black people walking around with cell phone, with video on them to catch these police beating, these police shooting, and all these things that you have been doing to black people for all these decades and centuries, and hiding it and say, oh, there's no such thing happening. Well, it is being proven factual that it's happening. It's being seen on social media every day of the way black people are being brutalized in America. You can't hide it no more. But you realize that you're going down at your own hand. Your own hand is the one that punched the hole in the bottom of the ship. So when our dear brother Malcolm used the word, the chicken has come home to roost, the chicken really has come home to roost. You see what I'm saying? And that's what you're seeing. That's what you're experiencing. So black people who don't want to be black people who don't want to be themselves, who don't want to be a part of their community and their history and whatever, okay, go over to the side that is going down on the sinking ship and see if this Titanic is going to save you. It's not. Don't talk to me about forgiveness. Our African brothers and sisters, I'm telling you, you turn away from the true God and give him up for a false one. You give up your creator for a false God that have no power to help you, have no interest in you. Where was this Jesus when your ancestors was being raped and being kept into those conditions? Where was he? Where was this white, blue-eyed, blonde Jesus that they give you? Where was he? Ask yourself that question. They say he died 2,000 years ago and he's in heaven. So where was he in heaven when these things were happening to your ancestors? And these people tell you the reason why the God allowed them to do this to you for some sin that you commit. What sin? What sin did you commit? What sin did you commit that this God that they tell you allowed them to do that to you? And this God is saying, slave must be obedient to. Yes, again, I mean, it's good to be here. I am thankful to the Creator. I'm thankful to the ancestors for all good things, you know. But, you know, our experience in Ghana was the experience of a lifetime. Which, like I said, for me, I would tell the thing that every black man, woman, and child need to go to Ghana, to go into Africa, but Ghana especially because that's where our ancestors left from to basically come across the Middle Passage and wherever they were shipping them to, whether in America or all over the diaspora. So what I'm saying is that it is for us to realize the importance of going to visit the motherland and get grounded, so to speak. To go and to know what really happened. I can share a lot with you, yes, but at the same time, when you go there for yourself and experience it for yourself, it's going to put you in a different space and time. So that's something, and an opportunity and a privilege that I had. I'm glad I experienced it actually. It brought me home in the sense where when I got to Ghana, I felt at home for the first time. I felt so peaceful really, and I felt the spirit of the people loving and kind. Wherever I go, that's what was most welcoming of all. I've gone to quite a few places, be honest with you, but this is the most welcoming I've ever received at any place. And I can tell you I go home to Jamaica pretty often, but my thing is that, not saying that our Jamaican brothers and sisters are not welcoming, but it's a whole different spirit in Ghana. Wherever you go, the spirit is the same. And so that in itself was a great inspiring moment for me throughout that visit. You know, sometimes you have in the back of your mind that, you know, yeah, somewhere I'm going to go and the people are not going to be the same. But it wasn't that way. You know, the people was throughout the entire trip. That was their attitude. Whether you just meet them for the first time, whether they were around you for quite some time, they were the same. So, you know, just to kind of give you some background on how things were with the people itself, you know, themselves in Ghana. Another part of it really was the food is excellent actually. Most of the food that I used to eat in Jamaica, that's the kind of food that they got pretty much in Ghana, all over the place. The place is very beautiful, you can look at the soil and see that it's very rich, and everything that they plant, you can just look at them and see how these plants grow wonderfully in the soil. They don't need no fertilizer, they don't need none of this chemical or any of that garbage that we are getting here in the Western world in our food. So, you know, to go and live in Ghana, if you want to grow crops, if you want to do business, you see, because when you talk to most people, and as most of us know about our African history, is that we were taken out of the jungle and civilized, which is all lies, as I said before. The fact is that Ghana is a beautiful place,
Okay, you got buildings that you would never imagine that these things were in Africa, if you follow what these television will tell you. Okay, so not telling you that people are not living there. The majority of the population is living in, you know, what I would call under the standard of living. But the thing is, what I admire about these brothers and sisters, they don't let that stop them. They don't let that change their way. They really don't show this bitterness, like they are just angry all the time. They just a wonderful spirit. So for me, that was very pleasant. That was very, very good to see, even though they didn't live in some of the best houses. You know, you have the poor there. You have people who you call middle class, same way. You have the rich, and you can see the difference. You can also see on a religious scale that there is churches, like I said, every corner. These huge churches, huge, I mean, you know, and into these poor community, these huge churches, okay? And when you pass by on a Sunday, you can see that there's lots of people in these churches. And so even though they are poor, they keep giving and giving and giving, but nothing is being returned to them. You know, so all those things have to change. Because what I notice and experience, that the African people are truly colonized by religion. More than we could ever imagine that they are colonized by religion. From top to bottom. You see. And they don't have much people from the outside world that go there and show them a different way. Try to explain these things to them. So when you go there with a good attitude. Don't go there to look down on your brothers and sisters. Go there and sit down and reason with them. Show compassion, show love to your brothers and sisters. Okay? Because that's what they are looking for. They're not looking to see you come there, you know, with this high, you know, this attitude, this behavior, like you are superior to them, because we're not. So we want to get over ourselves. When you go to the motherland to visit, leave that attitude behind. Go there with, you know, not this expectation that you're going to go there and you're going to see all these poor people and you're going to... It's not about feeling sorry for the brothers and sisters. It's about seeing why they are in the plight that they are. Just like many of us here in the Western world and all the diaspora. You have to look at the condition and ask the question, why are they living in this condition? Why is the richest continent in the world, these people are living in such poverty? That's the question. And so that's what you need to search for answers to help them to come out of that. Okay? We think that there's opportunity here. There's no opportunity here. There's a ton of opportunity in Africa. But you have to go there with vision. You see, these Westerners, these whites, they go over there, believe me, and they are making it, but you would never know. You go to Ghana and you see some hotels, you would never know that these things exist there. But they're not owned by black people. You see, again, this is what they do. So, for me right now, my mission is to help to open up the eyes of our people, that we can see the truth. We can see the truth of what the system of white supremacy has done to our people. But showing our people that what white supremacy has done to them is not enough.
We have to teach our people how to break the system down, to break the back of the system that is continue to down press them. We have to show them. We have to get together and we have to work together as one unit to make sure all of our people have what they need. You see, so we don't want to, let's say we're leaving from America and going to Ghana. We're not going there to think, okay, you know, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to get rich, you know. And then what about your brothers and sisters? What are you going to treat them the way white supremacy treat you? You got to go with a different mentality. These are things that we need to be aware of. So at this present moment, as I said, my thing is to search deep within myself and see where I am going to, the role that I'm going to play in helping our people to free themselves. And sitting in front of everyone and sharing these things with you, I am playing a part of that role. But I'm ready and willing and able to get down and dig the dirt if I have to help our people to come up from the poverty that they have been living in and to help to relieve them of the suffering that they are going through. You see, that is our job. That is our responsibility. You see, so we must now bring a heart of wisdom in. We must ask our Creator and our ancestors to open up our eye, open up our mind, open up our heart, that we will have compassion for each other. Because we have to have compassion for each other. We need to stop, you know, putting each other down, but we need to see why each of us are in the condition that we are. So that's what we need to focus on. Why are we in the condition and what are we going to do about it? That's where the work comes in. Okay? So once we get to that point, then we're ready to come hands in hands and to change the situation. Because like I said, we can talk from now until at the expression till the cow come home, and then nothing change. So change is going to be made by the things that we do as a people, because we know what the problem is. And so in order for us to uproot the problem, we must go to work. That is a key priority, and it is essential to the success of our people. You cannot be afraid. I keep on emphasizing that, because they are going to come at you. You must know that. They don't want to let go from where they are sitting. So we have to remove them. You see, as I say, people don't like when I speak on the subject of religion, because a lot of people get offended. But I will always speak on the subject of religion, because religion is the biggest problem for our people. It is the biggest problem for our people. And until we remove this thing away from our people and show them that there is a better way, we're not just telling you to give up your religion. We're giving you something that you're going to think, why didn't I know this all my life? Why was I giving all my money to this thing that is destroying me and destroying my people? We're giving you back your spirituality. Because that's who you are. That's who we are as a people. We are spiritual people. And when we set ourselves free from under the oppression that we find ourselves, then that will be a wonderful time. We cannot look to these so-called leaders in Africa to free the African people, because they are all tied up by means of religion. So how is it that we are going to use them to free our people. No, they are useless to the people. They are useless because the powers that be made sure that these people are useless. So the fact is now, it is for us who the ancestors has granted this wisdom that we become wise to take it and set our people's mind free, because they are not in physical chain on their hands and around their necks or their feet anymore. It is about the mind. We must free the mind, because that's where they remove the chain, the physical chain, and place a mental chain upon the mind of our people. So that is the job that we have. It is to remove it. Open the eye of our people that they may see and see clearly. Remove the veil from their faces. They use the veil of religion to cover their faces over, that they might not see truth, that truth might not shine through. So as long as you hold on to this thing, like I said, people might get the idea twisted that I said, I didn't say you can't find any truth in this book called the Bible. But they use this thing to twist and control you. But I can teach you things from that book that you will see what these people are doing to you. You see, this God and this Jesus that you were sold, they are not your God, they are your enemy. And until you get that, nothing is going to change, my dear brothers and sisters. Nothing will change. We must come. We must come to that knowledge that this thing called religion, it is not our friend, it is our enemy. Because the people who has forced it upon us are our enemy. They are our enslaver. We are at war. And the funny thing is that, as I said, we are the only one that seems not to recognize it. Okay? You weren't taken here freely. You were taken here under chains as prisoners of war. So if I take you as prisoners of war, I'm not going to set you free. Look at the condition that your ancestors suffer. Look at the condition. Look at the condition that our young men, especially out in the street, are still suffering today. Being gunned down by the oppressor like a dog. You know, one of the things that I noticed when I went to the last bath, which was a very sad day for me, and I saw the way they had the chains around our ancestors' necks. But I also, they had portraits of these whites that were there selling our ancestors. And they were showing you how they were branding them with a branding iron. Like a cow or any kind of cattle that you brand. And in the midst of all of that, I noticed one thing. This man that was there selling our ancestors, a white man, had his dog sitting in front of him, and he's just stroking his dog, brushing his dog down, while they're committing all these atrocities with our ancestors. And I will say to you, my brothers and sisters, you will see that white people spend trillions of dollars on their dogs every year. It is nothing new. It is nothing new. They will not give up their dog to help you. That means they value their dogs more than you. They will go and spend thousands of dollars for their dog to get a surgery. But they won't even help you to get food to eat a lot of time. And everything that you do in this system that you live, they will question it. They will question it. Even when you work for yourself, and even when they don't know what you do for a living, how they don't know how to do it. But because you're a black man or a black woman, they will question your ability. What I'm saying, think about what I'm saying. And think and recall if these things don't happen to you and your job at all the time. We have to think. They always have to be over you to tell you how to do what you know. But we are not thinking, because again, when we are on a job and they come along and don't know anything, even the people who are supposed to be your boss, a lot of times they don't know nothing. And they will get you to teach them everything you know, and they will laugh with you, they will smile with you. Once you give them that knowledge, they're no longer your friend. They weren't your friend in the first place. They weren't your friends in the first place. They would call you brothers. They hey, my brother, hey, sister. No, they're not. Because they hear us address each other that way, so now they come with that endearment to make you feel comfortable that you will teach them what you know. How do you think they get to some of our ancestors to help to sell out some of our people to them? They didn't tell them what they was going to do to them. They didn't tell them that they would be having them in these dungeons for up to 3 months, living in their own feces. They didn't tell them that. Oh, we just want some of them to be our servants, to work and help us. They are very cunning, very deceptive. But I will tell you, and I've said it already, these people, I can honestly tell you, when I see the condition that my ancestors suffer, I can tell you that they have committed the unforgivable sin. And if you travel to Ghana and visit one of these slave dungeons, because I don't call it a castle, because only the white man that was living up on top was living in a castle. But you will see what I'm talking about. When your ancestors is living in up to 12 to 14 inches of feces, half naked, for months at a time. And these people up on the top, going to their church that was up on the top of the castle, and it's still there. You go there and see it today. These churches are still there. You will see it for yourself. They having their parties up on top, taking out our ancestors, the women, and sometimes the men, out of their filth and having sexual relation with them. And when they fight not to have sex, they beat them and do all kind of evil things to them. These are the things, these are the atrocities that these people has committed upon our ancestors. And you tell me forgive? You will tell me I should forgive? Forgive, and you're still committing the atrocities today? When these police murder our young brothers and sisters on the street for no reason? And you tell me to forgive? When I see you're still treating your dogs worse, better than black people today, and you tell me forgive? When I see the trillions of dollars that you're spending on your dogs, And yet, my people work for over 400 years in this. And white people say, oh, I didn't do it to you. I didn't do it to you. It is the father that has eaten the unripe grape, but it's the sons and the daughters' teeth that get set on edge. So that means you are benefiting from the evil that they have committed against my ancestors. You are still benefiting from the evil that they have committed against our ancestors. So how is it that you can come and tell me to forgive? You have shown no remorse. And every time I talk about what you have done, you tell me it's in the past. Then how come you don't tell these Jews, a black man didn't do those things to them? No black man put them in a gas chamber. It was somebody who looked just like them put them in a gas chamber. Why you don't tell them to forgive? But you give the whole country belong to the Jews. The media belong to them. They control every aspect of this society. How come our people who work for you for free for hundreds of years have no control in this society? And then you tell me to forgive? I don't hear you tell the Jews to forgive. These so-called Jews who make up themselves to be Jews. I don't hear you tell them that. Don't talk to me about forgiveness. Our African brothers and sisters, I'm telling you, you turn away from the true God and give him up for a false one. You give up your creator for a false God that have no power to help you, have no interest in you. Where was this Jesus when your ancestors was being raped and being kept into those conditions? Where was he? Where was this white, blue-eyed, blonde Jesus that they give you? Where was he? Ask yourself that question. They say he died 2,000 years ago and he's in heaven. So where was he in heaven when these things were happening to your ancestors? And these people tell you the reason why the God allowed them to do this to you for some sin that you commit. What sin? What sin did you commit? What sin did you commit that this God that they tell you allowed them to do that to you? And this God is saying, slave must be obedient to the master, even if he's treating you harshly, even if he's raping you, even if he's keeping you in your own feces for up to 3 months and hardly giving you nothing to eat or drink, and not enough here for 300 people in a room to breathe, a room that don't supposed to have no more than about 20 or 30 people in there, up to 300. Imagine those conditions. And you tell me I should feel sorry for you and feel sorry for the Jews? And I should forgive you? Forgive you? No. It don't work like that. Then you talk about how lazy black people is? Huh? If black Americans don't work for another day in their life, you should give them everything. Because you owe them everything you have. Because without them, this country would be nothing. So don't tell me you go to Africa and you colonize all the African people with your religion. And African people need to know that this Jesus is your colonizer. And when white people come to Africa to give you Jesus, and they come there to give you they're telling you they're giving you tetanus shots and all kind of shots, they come in there to sterilize you. They come in there to put disease in your body. They're not there to help you to be better. All these years they've been coming to Africa for more than 400 years. Then how come your life isn't better yet? How come? I can tell any one of you brothers and sisters out there, I'm sorry for you if you're waiting for Jesus. Because this white Jesus is never coming to save you. And if you don't believe me, just keep waiting. Just keep waiting. All of you know how much of your parents and grandparents have been waiting for this Jesus? Do you know how many of them? Yeah. They taking theirs now, but when you get to heaven, you will get yours. That's what they tell you. But you don't see that. You don't see that this person, these people that continue to tell you that you must turn the other cheek and you must wait on Jesus because he's going to, and God says vengeance is mine and he will repay it. Then how come they're not waiting on God to repay their vengeance? How come they're dropping bombs on people? How come they're still killing people over in the Middle East? How come they kill more than 1 million people in Iraq? And how about all those millions that they kill in Afghanistan? But they tell you to wait on God because God is going to exact vengeance. And we believe those things and we keep on believing them. We are in a bad condition because we are not thinking. We are not reasoning. We are not seeing. We have been fooled to believe so much lies. Everything that you thought you know, what they teach you in school, what they teach you in church is nothing but lies and deception. You have to come out from underneath this lie and this deception and these evil people that is trying everything to destroy you. The very food that you eat every day, it's getting worse. It's hard to go to the store anymore and find grapes without seed. It's hard to go and find a watermelon without seed anymore. And you don't ask yourself the question why. You thinking of convenience. That is what is killing you. Go to McDonald's and Burger King, that's convenient, but it's killing you. All the food that you eat, everything these people weaponize against you. They get all of the man to live within their lower self. Everything is about sex, sex, sex. And every time most of us as men see women, the first thing we thinking, want to have sex with this woman. And you're sizing the woman up. And you don't ask yourself, but why am I that way? Is it normal? Is it natural? It's not normal. That's not normal. But we living in our lower self because they get us to do that. Everything on television is about sex. Every time you see a commercial is about sex. Every time you see a billboard is sex. Somebody advertising a car, you see a woman there with hardly nothing on. What does that say to you? When are we going to wake up and see what they are doing to us? Nothing changed? And you say, oh, but white people see it too. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about them. You think they care about life? I tell you, when I look, I examine things very clearly. And I see how they eat. And I always ask myself, why is it that when these people eat meat, they want it almost with the blood running out of it? That tells you something. But you want to tell me they're just like me? No, they're not. They're not. Because I don't think that way. And I don't go around and try to destroy everything and everybody. I don't. So I'm not like them. You see, I have a love for creation. And I have a love for my people. And I would never do those things to my people under any circumstances. These people are always trying to destroy the planet. They rape the planet. In every chance they get, they rape the planet. And you think that they are just like you. Wow. You're so fast asleep that it's not funny. We are so fast asleep. And every day that you look at the planet, oh, this is happening to the planet. Who is doing it? Who is doing it? Is it you or is it them? Anybody that tried to destroy nature is not from the Creator. There's a lot of people out there who get upset when you say these things, but it's the truth. It is a fact. Because you destroy nature, and guess what? Everything is gone. They try to block out the sun because they can't live with the sun. And then you are telling me that you are a natural man. But every time you go out in the thing that sustains life on this planet, you have to be covering up and putting on suntan lotion. Something is wrong. But we are the only ones that don't get it. That's why I said our people must unite. We must come together. Stop fighting amongst yourself and come together. Forget the petty issues. Forget the mundane things of life that is keeping you down. Put these things aside and see that the commonality is that blackness is what everybody else is fighting against. We must come together in a common cause. I am telling our people that blackness is what they are trying to destroy. And every man on this planet ate the black man and the black woman and the black child. Every nation of them. So when are we going to get it? Run to the Chinese and see if they will help you. Run to the Indians and see if they will help you. Run to those who call themselves Hispanic and see if they will help you. Run to white supremacy and see if they will help you. They don't care nothing about you. Because none of them will come to your aid. Just because they help one here or one there. No, that is just to make you feel, that is just to keep you, oh yeah, see that he helped that one over there? It's a brain game. You see? Yeah. They like to play with your mind. And only you don't realize that. Only we as a people don't realize what they're doing. They are playing a mind game. And you are falling for it every time. And every time you see they put somebody in a particular office, oh yeah, he's the first one. First one? Really? Wow. We don't get it. We don't get it. It's time for us to get it. Because if we don't, it's going to be too late. I'm telling you. As Bob says, wake up and live. Rise up and get ready for the fight. Because they're not going down without a fight. You have to know that. But we must be ready. Physically, mentally, and emotionally, and most of all spiritually. Because we are spiritual people. And it's our spirituality is going to help us to defeat them. It's not the physical. It is the spirituality that is going to defeat them. Just like our brothers in Haiti defeated them by means of spirituality, we are going to defeat them in the same way. Never be afraid of any of this. There's nothing to fear. There is nothing to fear. A lot of our brothers, like I said out there, a lot of times they don't want to come up and speak out. Because they are in fear. Oh, I'm in fear for my family. I'm in fear for, the safety of my family. Yeah? Where were you when your ancestors was fighting? You think they was thinking about just their family? They were thinking about all the other families that was being destroyed. They wasn't thinking about themselves. We have to put away the selfishness and the selfish ideology that we've been taught by white supremacy. I can tell my brothers and sisters, nobody else is going to build us as a people. Nobody else is going to build our community but us. It starts right here. So we have a job, we have a responsibility, and we must carry it out. Without any shadow of a doubt, we must carry out our responsibility that is placed upon us by our Creator and by the ancestors. It has been placed upon us. The baton has been passed to us. So now we must run the rest of the race. And we must run it and win it decisively. There's no other way. So who want to look to white supremacy for freedom? Keep on looking. And you will get your share. But those who rely upon the Creator and the ancestors to give them victory will be the true successor. Believe me. My brothers and sisters, it is serious. It is we are at a pivotal point in time. We are at a very pivotal point. Do not disappoint your children and your grandchildren. Do not destroy their future anymore. Now is the time for you to create a future for them. We haven't been good at doing any such thing as a nation. Africa must come together and Africa must unite. And it's not going to unite from the top. That will never happen. That's why they buy and pay for all those at the top to keep you under oppression. Whether they are in government, whether they are chiefs, whether they are religious, whether they are kings, whatever they are, they have been bought and paid for. But I'm not interested in the top, because I already know that the top is not going to do anything for us. We must depend on those who nobody else want, who they treat and kick by the wayside. Those are the ones that we need to get together and lift them up that they may rise up. That's the way you fight them. Raise your people from the bottom and topple the tree over. All you have to do is remove the root and the tree will topple. That's all you have to do. We don't have time to waste, brothers and sisters. We don't. It's serious. Serious. We have to move forward. We have to move forward. We have to move together as one. As one people, one group, one hymn, and one destiny at all times. As Kwame Nkrumah said, forward always and never backward. Always. That's what we must do. I have to say, one love and peace, my brothers and sisters. And may we continue to strengthen each other. Peace be with you.
Make sure to check out the boldest blog at lancescurv.com and follow Scurv on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube under Lance Scurv.